I think I know just the place.
Alright, yeah, so we're in a much different spot now for this podcast. You guys are going to see we got cool little lights now. We're trying to be like Joe Rogan, I gather. But, so yeah, we just went to the Mr. America. I'd say, I don't know about you, but that was the most impressive lineup I've ever seen.
Yeah, for a natural show, yeah, no doubt.
Let's just start off with, give me,
what was that guy online telling you that, the Europeans have better competition over there? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we can get into that in a little bit for sure. But who stood out to you the most out of the show?
It was pretty clear cut. I think Meshack just came up there and dominated, and that says a lot because those guys without Meshack there, those guys were top notch from top to bottom. Like all of them came in.
Right.
Really good. Like, I mean, it would be hard to crack top 5 at this show.
Oh.
You got to be really, really good.
Yeah, with ease, you'd have to be as complete as it can get, and we're definitely going to break down. I definitely do think Meshack won as well, but it was kind of close a little bit, just because in my mind, Bada brought some of the biggest, thickest legs I've seen on a guy for his size. Next, him and Rob are pretty comparable, so that impressed us in that sense. And I was going back through and I was looking at our 2020 video, Natural Olympia video, and I noticed when Meshack went against Jay in that year, he had I'm not saying it was a major difference here, let's just put that out there, but there definitely was, his legs were larger when he went against Jay. And I honestly think if he came in, call me crazy, but if he came into the Olympia like he looked at the America, I don't think he would beat Jay, because he just lost a little bit of the sweep in his legs. And that's, to me, where Prince was like shining, was every time they turned around, every time, from the front too, but then from the sides is where Meshack would get him in the leg department. But you can still see the size difference, but Prince's legs really impressed me. Another, there was a bunch of guys that impressed. There was a couple more guys that impressed us in the legs, especially Corey. Reigning Mr. America. He had some of the craziest feathering I've seen in a long time on stage. Gregory McBride had craziest hamstrings and glutes, I think, on the stage. Those things were shredded. It was wild. But in terms of just the overall package of the whole leg with all the lines, and Meshack being shorter, just easier to get complete. Even with the slight downsizing, if you ask me, in the legs, it didn't matter. His upper body was.
Yeah, just the symmetry. He looks like a smaller version of Phil Heath. Just everything, popped. Rounded delts, arms, just the complete package. But there was a lot of guys. Was there 20, 21?
There was 21 or 22 competitors.
They had to split it into an A and B.
Yeah.
And Meshack was in the A. They took the top 3 from
A and B was tall and short.
Yeah. So and even the tall class was my height, 5'7".
No, I don't think there was a single bodybuilder except for Joe Lacera that stepped on that stage that was over 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
Tops.
Yeah.
They were all just around that height for the tall class, and then the short class, there was a bunch of guys that were 5'2" to 5'4", 5'5". Yeah, that was interesting to see him do that. Top 3 in each class was so it was Meshack, Q, and who else was out of the short class? Was Levi out of the short class? Yes, he was. Remember, because yep. Because Levi took second to Meshack in the first call out. So then Levi took third in the short class. And then in the tall class, it went. We had Corey.
Yep.
And then who was the other guy? Matthew Latero, and then and we got the video right here as well. So, and Prince, and Bada.
Yeah.
So, those were the 3 winners out of the class. I do think. Okay, well, let's just ask you this: if you had a guy that could have made, top final 6 that didn't make it, who would it have been?
You mean it was in the competition or just?
Yeah, I'm not saying they should have, but if you would have swapped out a guy, who would it have been? We're not saying that they were better than anybody else. We just want to intervene with this. Excuse me.
I'm trying to remember who else was there.
Well, I'll start off. I mean, I think he'll agree with me too, but I think Gregory was a little overlooked. He definitely could have been in the final.
Yeah, it was so close between the top. For 2 through 6 was pretty close.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say 3 through 6, but like all of them were close. They all had different strengths, but like Prince and Meshach obviously the most complete. Prince was nearing that, pushing him a little bit into the next lane here. So it was interesting to see. I've never seen Meshach in person in my life, and he impressed us. That was wild. Obviously, with that said, it was still the deepest lineup we've ever seen. There was other people I saw there that really impressed me. We'll get back into this bodybuilding, but
the guy that won physique.
Yeah, we can dance around real quick. We'll come back to bodybuilding. So the guy that won classic physique, his name JFit. I think his name's Jeremiah. On Instagram, JFit. He's got a really good physique. He's very complete too, top to bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude is thick. I do think Scott coming in second in that was the right call. You can check my posts and stuff. I have video footage to corroborate with this, but you could see how lean Scott was in the back, and then as he walked to the front, he got completely washed out. And obviously, the darker your skin is, the less likely you're going to get washed out. So, I don't know. Maybe there'll be coming a day where we forget about illuminating the stage for banners and sponsors, and we just focus solely on illuminating the athletes so we can see what they look like.
I think better lighting would have been, because the lighting was really good at the back of the stage.
It was insane at the back of the stage.
The lighting was really good at the back of the stage. When they walked to the front, it was a little too much.
And here's why we can say this, right? You know how they say distance will dictate how crazy somebody looks? The further away you get, the more lean they look? Okay. So, the back of the stage, they're further away from you. We could have had them come to the front of the stage, and then we could have walked equal distance to the back of the theater, and they still would have looked worse than if we both took the same distance to the, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
it's about the lighting.
It's about the lighting. When they went to the back of the stage, they looked ridiculous, and then when they went to the front, most of the white guys, even Levi was getting, like I was just telling Robbie before we were getting ready to film this, you could see, like, in the midsection stuff, Levi was super lean, but the lights just washed him out a little bit. It is what it is. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, he's a really light-skinned guy like me, and to get any darker than he already has,
it just goes to show the importance of the tan.
Yeah, it's crazy. Make sure with these kind of lights, which is what I'm trying to get away from.
And you never know what the lighting is going to be like until you get on there. So
right.
Don't ever underestimate your tan. Like, if you think you got enough on, put another coat on.
Yeah, definitely get darker. So on that note, JFit looked real good. Scott looked real good in second. I'm pretty sure this guy that won the physique has got to be over 30.
Yeah, he looked crazy good.
He looked crazy good, but Scott's 26, so I honestly think Scott can come up from the back end, and in a few years, I think he can get that for sure. Yeah. No doubt. He's got a really good physique. I've seen him grow year to year. I've known the guy now for a while, and
the guy that won the physique, he has the craziest genetics for the small waist and big lats that I've ever seen. I mean, if he has legs, I mean, I couldn't see because it was physique. If he had legs, he would do really good in even open bodybuilding, I think.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like,
the year I saw when I competed last year and I saw him, I said he could have done open bodybuilding if he wanted to.
Yeah,
but he chose.
We don't know because you can't see. We didn't see the legs, but like, yeah, he put if he has good legs, which he very well could.
You're talking about physique or classic?
Physique, not the classic.
Oh, okay. Now we're going to physique. Okay, yeah. So not J-Fit, but you're talking about Arius Norris.
Yes.
Arius Norris has a very big taper with his. Yeah, I agree with Robbie.
I don't think I've ever bodybuilding for 12 years now. I don't think I've ever seen someone with that small of a waist with that big flats on a natural stage, even on an enhanced stage. I mean, he's
thick. I mean, obviously, like for a physique guy, you don't want too big arms, anything like that, but you do want the big taper and the wide shoulders, and he's got it. So kudos to him for
no doubt
kicking butt. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure about the legs on that guy. I don't know. We can't see him.
We really can't tell.
We can't see him. I don't know.
If he has legs, he could be top 5 in open. If he has legs.
If he got his arms a little bit bigger and he had legs, he definitely would be top 5 in open with that torso of his. But but he nonetheless though, forget about talking about where he's going. He crushed the physique class. The guy that came in second and third, Dangerous J on Instagram, and the other guy I don't think I've ever heard of until now, but
they were good too.
He was a big dude, so all those guys impressed us for sure. That whole lineup impressed us, but those 3 guys were pretty impressive for physique guys, you could tell. So then you had we didn't watch too much of the amateur side. We did watch a lot of the women's, but we don't know a lot of these people in the women's division, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to talk too much about them. But we have a hard time judging between figure and physique and bikini anyways.
That's hard to judge.
So we don't even get into that, but we stick to our guns and we know bodybuilding. So on that note, we want to get into this video real quick too. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but
you can watch that on our channel.
Yeah, watch it on the channel. So as you see, you come out, you got Prince in the green trunks.
All right, this is the clock.
We got Meshach is in, I believe, dark blue. Yep, he's wearing the gold bronze. So then, you got you can immediately see the size difference in the legs with Prince and everybody else, but obviously right here I think is where Meshach wins the shows.
Yeah, you can tell even with a video from a distance, you can see how deep, how his muscles pop out on Meshach. You can tell.
And I don't want to zoom in too much because it'll get real sloppy with the quality, but if Meshach had a weakness, it'd probably be lat width, but he makes up for it in thickness. Lat width and calves, if he had a weakness.
Yeah. Nobody up there had super huge calves, though.
Nobody had really developed calves.
Easy calves, but not
Corey Brown's all the way on the, for you guys, it would be the left side of the screen. Q's in the yellow next to Meshach, and Levi's about to get moved in next to Meshach right now. Again, you can see the size difference between all these guys and Meshach, but you obviously see how crazy Meshach looks. No matter about the size.
Yeah. Video doesn't even do it justice.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. No.
Wow, Robbie, that's
so you can see pose for pose here. I mean, it might be hard to see on the TV, but we want you guys to watch the video.
Check our other video. It'll come in a lot.
Meshach nailed his conditioning. He definitely was the leanest guy on stage.
Yeah,
leanest.
Detail from the side on the legs. You see the glute, the hamstring, all that.
Side triceps.
Leanest. The detail.
The detail between the hamstring and the glute. You can just see that.
Relax. Gentlemen, face the rear.
And I'm just like. It's tough. It's tough who to reward here. I mean, I think Bada would have done better with gold bronze.
Oh, to really compare them?
Yeah, I think he would have been a lot better off using gold bronze.
that would kind of equalize.
Look, I know they said no Dream 10 at the show. Okay.
What kind of show is no Dream 10?
Yeah, I know they said. I know they said no Dream 10. And we'd encourage you guys to watch the video here, as we have technical difficulties with it. But you guys get an idea here of what everybody's looking like.
That's a good shot right there.
It is a good shot, and let's also talk about who Mark got for the judges. I'd like to go over that.
Okay.
Tom and Phil.
Oh yeah.
You can talk to them while I dick around with this.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Tom Platz was there. He was a super cool guy.
Talks his ear off.
Yeah.
And he's
real humble. Like he'll just talk to you. Like, hopefully, if he sees this, we can get him on. Get him on the podcast.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that was pretty cool. Yeah, he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah. So he actually took like 15 minutes out of his day to talk to us, and we were just shooting the shit with him, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
We couldn't be more blessed to have guys like that at the show, and we need more people like that to want to come out and support natural bodybuilding. Also, we got Philip Ricardo, Philip Ricardo Jr., 4-time Natural Mr. Olympia winner. When I see judges, I'll reiterate this, and this is why I like Mark doing what he's doing. I want to see athletes or former elite athletes judging shows.
Yeah.
They know what they're looking for, and athletes comparing other athletes, because we usually don't coach each other. You know what I mean? Like we usually elite people compared. You get like any Joe Schmo that's getting coached by Joe Blow. Yeah, no. Elite level bodybuilders usually don't get coached by other elite level bodybuilders. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, we're not coaching each other.
We're not. So there's no vested interest for a lie to occur or want to cheat and give somebody else points. I think it's great. And then Tom Platz coming in.
Yep.
Hands down. Yeah. That was a no-brainer. So, shout out to Mark for doing that. And, we can also dive into the expo real quick.
That was really cool.
Crazy good expo.
Yeah. Growing every year. Like
it just was 3 times the size of what it was last year. I mean, shoot, we had sumo wrestling there, wall wrestling, strongman.
Pro. You can talk about that. You get the state record now.
Yeah, so that was my goal going there. Just wanted to break the New York State record in the 220 class. It was 77 kilos.
And for us Americans.
Yeah, for us Americans, it's 170 pounds. So I went in there and I just wanted to do what I knew I could do by training with all these guys. So I ended up curling 172. Was it my best curl I've ever done? No, but it was damn close, and I was happy as hell to do it. So I was stoked. I broke the record. Stood for 13 years since 2009.
Qualified for the Arnold?
Actually, no, not yet.
No.
No, because I'm not sure. Yeah, but we'll get into that at a later time.
Yeah.
But we got I think one of the coolest things about the expo was to me was hanging out with the USBF president, Jack Halverson. We met him at the expo. This is just right in with how crazy the expo was. You had Michael Hearn.
Yeah.
Jack Halverson was there. There was a couple other big name people, and I'm trying to forget, but Gold's Gym was there. There was, what was the name of the pull down that was there? M80 Gym or some shit?
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it, but there was a big gym there with a gym equipment that you could win. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then
it's almost growing into like a mini Arnold Classic or Olympia.
That was easily a small version of the Arnold Classic. And
very, very small scale. I mean, the Arnold is
super small,
100 times bigger, but
for
it's growing into that. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah,
that's what I like.
For you to even get compared to the expo wise to the Arnold is like, shoot, you're talking like that's the biggest expo for fitness. Period.
Yeah, Arnold in the world. Yeah.
No doubt about it. So,
for a natural show to
that is insane.
That brings a lot to natural bodybuilding. Yep.
That event for natural bodybuilding it's insane.
When you're getting the vendors, giving away stuff, contests, all that fun stuff. That's what we want to see.
So obviously, you guys, let's go back to this video real quick. Look, Corey had some really good legs. He's in the pink trunks on the left. Prince had crazy legs. Misha had crazy legs. They all have crazy legs, but I just think, like Rob said, what separated it is completeness, symmetry, and
detail.
Yeah, the detail work. It's tough to beat that.
Yeah.
The only guy.
Is there anybody in the world you think could beat that and take first?
Not right now, but.
You don't think Jay Brew?
Oh well.
That would.
I think a thick Jay Brew could come back and I think he could do some damage.
I think Doug Miller in his prime.
Well, I was just gonna say the last time Meshack lost, I believe, was to Rob Terry. When Rob Terry was actually like really good looking, and he's a big guy like me, so it just looked crazy to see him. There was a foot plus difference between these two guys instead of being like 4 inches like Bada has on him. So and Rob Terry's a big guy. As you can see, this isn't like me saying anything over and over again, but he is getting washed out. Like, his chest is detailed. This dude is strong. He's got a striated chest, but you can't see it because he's washed out on that lighting. Like...
Yeah, it looked a little better in person, obviously, but yeah, you can see it a little bit. He could use another coat of tan.
He could use another coat of tan, yeah.
And if they turned the lights down a little bit, it would have probably leveled the playing field a little bit more, but...
And then, you see, like, it's just really, like, to me, like, the difference was the upper body and the detail.
Yeah.
It really was. Like, there is just no getting around how absurd that was. The pose down was pretty epic. They let him go for a while. I thought that was really good. Anybody that says questions, we already get comments on this shit, and I hate it, Lou, about the steroids. Like, these dudes are all natural bodybuilders. I know most of these guys have competed with most of these guys. And Mark's drug testing. Drug testing a lot. I actually, was talking to him, and he said he did more urine tests now than ever before.
This level of competition, yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, for sure.
So...
And, like, when you look at these guys, it's not it's within the realm of possibility, They're not... You compare them to IFBB guys, it's not even close.
Not even close. Look.
If these guys took what the IFBB guys
I can respect people saying Meshack is the greatest natural bodybuilder of all time, but for anybody to think that he could go and stand next to Derek Lunsford or Nick Walker or Big Randy and even remotely be able to be compared to these guys. It's not even close. You don't understand. Like, yes, does he look like an IFBB pro in photos all by himself on Instagram? Like a 270-pound beast? Yep. Is he that big in real life? No, not at all. His arms impress me very much so. Size-wise. The rest of his body, size-wise, it does not impress me. But he's just that complete. He's freaky as all get out. Like, look at the dude in this video. I think Corey had the leanest legs on this stage. I told him that on Instagram. Like, it was insane to see that feathering and the detail. This video does no justice on that. You can't see any of that stuff in the video. Even on HD, whatever. It's just, it's not the same.
There you go.
I honestly think the judges got it right, though. Don't you?
Almost every single class we called them. Every single
class we pretty much had the winner picked. Top 3, top 5, I think. We can go back through and watch some of these classes and we're pointing them out. Actually, I will. We'll go back and I'll post the you can see the post down here. This is pretty cool. But again, we encourage you to check our video out. We actually have the prejudging of tall and short prior to this, and we pretty much nailed the top 3. So we'll post those so you guys can see the prejudging, just so you know that the judging was legit and it was good. Actually, no, Gregory. I had Gregory in instead of the other guy, but whatever. That was just the one flaw I had on this one. But other than that, they were spot on across the board to me. So yeah, Mr. America 2022 was probably like, if I would equate it to like, it was like Shaquille O'Neal slam dunking and breaking the rim. That's how good Mark did it this year. He destroyed what he did last year. The hotel was way better. The venues, the stage, everything. So, I mean, on that note, yeah, you can't get any better than that. It was just cool to be there, watch it live. We were like dead front center. Mm-hmm. Trying to think if there's any other takeaways we want to talk about from that festival, but yeah, it was crazy. If you guys are not going there and you live on the East Coast, you're missing out huge. The boardwalk's crazy good. Food there is crazy good. The boardwalk has restaurants there that are cheap too. 5 of us went out to eat and we didn't even spend I don't even think the bill was $100. And that was at Johnny Rockets, which to me, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody wants to go out.
The Tropicana Hotel was crazy. I've never been to a hotel like that. I was like, wow.
Yeah, no, that was nuts. So
it's like a little mall inside it.
Oh yeah,
it looks like you're outside. They have the ceiling painted like with sky and clouds, and they got like fake palm trees in there. And I was like, I've never been to a hotel like that. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, so
but they don't have a microwave in the room, so fair warning. We bought frozen meals and
didn't get to use them.
Can't even microwave them.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna keep chugging along here with these podcasts. We're probably gonna post a lot more videos about the Mr. America. You're gonna see a lot more come out.
Probably go to the Arnold this year.
Yeah, you'll probably see some videos on that. The other thing too is, we're definitely heavily motivated to get back up on that stage after seeing these guys. People just they see some of these people online and they're like unobtainable, and then we were like, we saw like Meshack and all these guys and we were like, all right, yeah, let's do this. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun to get back on stage with these guys and do that. So
yeah, you don't just, unless you're like superiorly genetically blessed, you don't get on that stage with less than even 5 years of training. Yeah, probably 10 years of training minimum.
Oh yeah, Meshack just said he was like 20 something or 30 years, whatever it was. I don't even know.
I bet you all those guys been training for 10 plus years, no doubt about it. Maybe 15. For anyone thinking about competing, getting on that stage, being on that level, start with a small. You start with a small local show.
You could do the amateur, I guess. But
you could do the amateur. Even that was competitive though.
Yeah, that was competitive. That was very competitive. We watched most of it, but not all of it. But yeah, kudos to Mark and everybody else involved at this show and doing this expo. For natural bodybuilding, it's the Super Bowl. I don't care what anybody says about any other show. You should go to the Mr. America. It's one of the best. It's one of the greats, and without people like Mark, I don't know. I never envisioned when we were competing a few years ago that we would have something like this, and we're podcasting about, and we're talking about, and showing you videos, and we had an expo to go to.
Yeah, the way it's growing, it'll
booths are giving out supplements, like just
that's my favorite.
And then the GQ, you're just getting all crunked up on the pre-workouts. And it's like just being at the Arnold. It's crazy. And you know what?
Free samples.
You know what the cool thing now is. You folks are missing out on a good time in the beginning because it's not caught on like it's going to be soon, and then it's going to blow up, and then you're going to be waiting in 15-minute lines to go to booths and stuff at this expo. So why don't you come next year and see what it's all about, and you can just run around like we did this year and have an absolute blast. It's like almost like being at your own little private function where you don't have to deal with 6 million people walking around. So on that note, I think we nailed that, so we will, I guess we'll oust it and see everybody next time.